I told you that I was going to the consultation for my plastic surgery. And if you haven't caught up on that video, maybe this is the first one you're seeing, I encourage you to go back and look at part 1 first, because this is going to be a whole series of videos about my entire process. So you don't want to miss anything. Be sure to go back and check that video out. I'll put the link down below. So if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to House of Hot, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button so that you can get all the notifications sent directly to your inbox every time I upload a brand new video. Anyway, I went to my consultation for my surgery. I have opted to do the liposuction and fat transfer into my bottom and hips, which is also known as the BBL, aka Brazilian butt lift. Please feel free to leave whatever comment you want in the comment section down below, as far as like questions or maybe sharing your own experiences or stories. But do not be disrespectful or rude to anyone in the comments, including myself, because I'm going to have to block you. This is a safe place and it's going to stay that way. It's a place for inspiring one another and encouraging one another and empowering each other, not to tear each other down. So if you got something negative to say, keep it to yourself. Go write it in your journal. Just do not write it in my comments, because I love you and I do not want to have to block you, okay? Yeah, I'm going to show you you guys the areas that I'm actually going to have lipoed, because I know some of you are like, girl, where are they going to take it from? I'm just really good at hiding my stuff in my clothes. And like I said, because I gain weight from head to toe, you don't often see it, but it's there. And my shape is not as shapely as you guys think it is. It's just the way I wear my clothes and like belt stuff and things of that nature. So anyway, I went to my consultation with Dr. Tarek Smiley here in LA, in the Beverly Hills area. Yeah, so I'm all set up to go. I actually stayed to do my pre-op. So usually you'll go in for your consultation and you figure out, okay, is this what I want to do? Or maybe you have to go see other doctors. But once you decide on doing so, they usually will ask you for a deposit to lock in the date. And so once you lock in the date, then you can do your pre-op and do all that stuff. And basically the pre-op is where they draw your blood, to test your blood, to make sure that they aren't going to run into any complications, you know, something that may be blood related, or see how your blood clots and all that stuff. I bet a lot of you are probably wondering, how much is this going to cost? Well, this is the deal with my body. Like I told you in the first video, I am straight up and down. I gain my weight from head to toe. The problem with that is it doesn't all go to one area. So whereas I had to put on weight. So somebody may put on weight like 20 pounds and it may all go to their waist or their stomach or wherever. And you can do the liposuction in just that area. With me, unfortunately, I gain weight from head to toe, so the fat is kind of evenly distributed, which means I have to pay a bit more money for the different areas that they have to lipo. So I read this, getting liposuction of my flanks, my lower back, my bra roll, and my inner thighs. That's 4 different areas. So that's basically 4 separate charges for liposuction. The average price is probably going to be, we'll just say $10,000. That should include your anesthesia, that should include any facility fees, that should include everything. Some doctors charge differently, so you definitely want to ask. If they say, oh, it's going to be $7,500, well, you need to ask about their anesthesiologist, because that is usually a separate person that will bill separately, and it's usually not included. So you need to find out how much the anesthesiologist is going to be, whatever type of garments you're going to need, whatever type of medications and prescriptions and all that stuff. You're going to want to find out and get a total cost. What I like about this doctor, he rolls everything into one total number, so you don't have to worry about tacking on different stuff. You should not have any worries on your mind. You should have a clear head. You should already be comfortable with the fact what you're going to do. It's okay to be a little bit nervous, especially if you've never had surgery before. I, on the other hand, have, because I've had 2 C-sections and, you know, of course, the breast augmentation and the tummy tuck. So very familiar with the process. It's scary because anything can go wrong, and you have to go into it knowing the risk. There are always risks associated with any type of surgery that you do, so make sure you're aware of that. When you talk to your doctor in the consultation, ask every single question. I recommend making a list of questions that come to mind before you even go to your consultation, and ask all of them. No question is a stupid question when it comes to your body and your health and well-being. You want to make sure that you feel comfortable. If you like the doctor, make sure they have good bedside manners, meaning they're not going to talk to you and treat you like you're stupid, because hello, you're paying them and you don't need that. So if you don't feel comfortable with the doctor, take your time and find someone else. It's supposed to take about 2.5, maybe 3 hours. Since I have 4 different areas to liposuction from, it may take 3 hours instead of 2.5, but he thinks he'll be done in about 2.5 hours. So not too long, but when you go under anesthesia, I mean, you go to sleep and then you think it's 10 minutes later and you're waking up, and so you're done. I remember I had my breast augmentation and my tummy tuck done at the same time. That was a much longer surgery. I think it was like 5 hours. And I literally went to sleep and thought I was waking up and they hadn't got started yet. Then I realized, oh, they had gotten started and they were done. So yeah, and then also the immediate recovery part is that you do go home the first day. It's always best that you have someone to stay with you for 24 hours after the surgery, just to make sure there are no complications and that, you know, you have help getting to the restroom. Oh yeah, so to use the restroom, now this is going to come in handy for all you squatters out there. I'm a squatter, raise your hand if you're a squatter. Tiara's raising her hand. We're all squatters. We don't use public restrooms, so we're used to this. You're going to want to squat when you tinkle for a while. No big deal, you're just gonna hold yourself up. Or if you have to rest yourself on the area right behind the backs of your knees so that your butt is not sitting on the actual toilet. You just want to avoid putting pressure on your behind, especially like that first week or whatever. So that's why they want somebody to stay with you for at least the first 24 hours. But other than that, I mean, you're kind of good to take care of yourself. Like I said, it's not as invasive as the tummy tuck or the breast augmentation, but it's still, you know, invasive and things can happen. So you want to be prepared. If you look right here, this is me. I know you can't see all that in my clothes, but this is what I look like right now that I've gained the 20 pounds. And so we're going to take fat with the liposuction from the bra strap area. It's called bra fat is what they call it. And then we'll do the lower flanks, which is like the love handles. Oh, child, yeah. My lower back, a little bit kind of in between that area. And then of course in the thighs, my inner thighs. I've always had big thighs, so I'm not too worried about it coming from my thighs. I've never really had a thigh gap. I mean, when I was younger and I weighed like 112, but who weighs that anymore? When you guys see my after pictures or whatever, because I'm going to show you guys all that, don't be so quick to judge, because my butt will go down quite a bit. This is what they explained to me. They're going to take as much fat as they can and put it in my butt and my hips. I didn't want a really big butt, didn't want really big hips. I just want a nice little curve shape to my body. So they're going to put more than what I actually asked for, because typically about 40% of the fat actually does not stay, because it has to gel and mold with the rest of the fat that's already in that area. And so some of it is going to go away. So when you see girls that get these BBLs, you know, right after they've had it and it looks like their butt is ginormous, just know that it's usually gonna go down a little bit. The process, from what I was told about sitting and things like that, you really can't sit and put pressure on your bottom for like 3 to 6 months. That sounds crazy. That doesn't mean I can't sit down. So basically you have to kind of sit like you're prim and proper with your back arched and your legs crossed. And it's good for your back, so I'm good with that. Like, you just can't put all your weight like sitting back on your butt. You have to sit forward and keep your legs kind of crossed. So if you go out to dinner, especially after the first 3 weeks or whatever, you want to kind of sit forward and never like back on your butt. So if y'all see me out and I'm just kind of sitting up all prim and proper, don't think I'm sedity trying to be having tea with the queen. It's just me trying to protect my investment that I've made in my bottom. Now, speaking of recovery, they said it should be about 2 weeks. The roughest part is going to be like, of course, the first few days. That's, I think, in my opinion, with any surgery I've ever had, the roughest part is always the first few days. But they did say that it's not going to be anywhere near as, of course, invasive or painful as the tummy tuck or breast augmentation that I've had previously. I just want a little shape, and I want to be able to look at it just a little bit. Yeah. Anyway, So that's it. I know this is a little bit longer, a lot longer than the last video, but if you have any questions, please put those in the comment section down below. I am all ears, trust me, because I'm going to be going into my surgery next week, and I will have nothing but time to sit and respond and talk to you guys. And also, with that said, be sure to tune in for the next video, because the next video is going to be actually me going to my surgery, and you definitely want to check that out. And then the one after that is going to be the actual recovery. So be sure you stick around for those, and subscribe if you haven't already so you can get those notifications when we upload them. But yeah, leave me comments and questions or whatever you want to know, and I will answer them as quickly as possible. I will be just resting. So if there is a delay in videos after this series is done, that just means I'm still recovering, and that Tiara and I will get back on it, shooting some stuff to get back posted. So if after you've seen this whole series and there are maybe a couple days that go by that we haven't posted anything, just know we are going to be back on it, and know that I'm thinking about you guys, and I will see y'all when I see you. Next time you see me, I'm gonna be going into surgery. Ooh, child. Okay, y'all pray for me. All right, don't forget, don't be nasty in the comments, okay? All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
I'm a dork.